Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru,
Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru,
Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru,
Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru,
Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru,
Vaheguru,
Guru, Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru,
Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru,
Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Guru, Oi, 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 Guru,
Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru,
Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru,
Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Guru,
Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru.
Guru, Oi, 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 Guru,
Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru,
Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru.
Oi, Guru, 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 Vahguru, 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 Vahguru,
Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru,
Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru,
Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru,
Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru,
Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru, Vahguru,
Guru Guru Va 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 Guru
Va Guru Va Guru
Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru
Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru
Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va
Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru
Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru Va Guru, 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 Guru Va 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 Saja saja antargat ho jaje. Start taking the chanting of the Guru Mantra internal, so that as you breathe in, you say Vahe with your mind. When you breathe out, you say Guru with your mind. Those Gurumukhs that can hear celestial sound, Anahad Shabda, you can focus in on those sounds directly. So, ਜਿਉਂ ਸਵਾਸ ਅੰਦਰ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਵਾਹੇ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਸੁਰਤੀ ਦੁਆਰਾ, ਗੁਰੂ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਸੁਰਤੀ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਸਵਾਸ ਬਾਹਰ ਨੂੰ ਵਾਪਸ ਜਾਏ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਨੂੰ ਅਨਹਦ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਸੁਣਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਿੱਧਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਲਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। Right. So, 7 ਵਜ ਚੁੱਕੇ Edmonton ਵਿਖੇ. It's now 7 o'clock in Edmonton. We are going to start Sa Simran, where Wahe is to be said in Madhuma Bani, as if you're whispering and Guru out loud, as we were chanting earlier. So, Sa Simran ਵਿੱਚ Wahe ਨੂੰ Madhuma Bani ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਉਚਾਰਨ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਨੂੰ ਬੈਖਰੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੁਰੂ ਕਹਿ ਕੇ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਪੌਣ ਬਾਹਰ ਕੱਢ ਲਓ, ਫਿਰ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ. Saying Guru exhale once, and then we will start. Guru, 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 Guru,
Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru,
Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Guru, Saji Sajantra Kathoji. Start taking the chanting of the Guru Mantra internal. There is only about 10 minutes left to do abhyas. So as you breathe in, say Vahe with your mind. As you breathe out, say Guru with your mind. And those Gurmukhs that can hear celestial sound, you can focus in on those sounds directly. If you're practicing the Guru Mantra, when you breathe in, try to also bring your mind, your surti, down to the navel point so that you can find that spot where the air reaches. Once you find that point, sit there with your surti, your mind, listening inside. Those Gurmukhs that are already listening to celestial sound, out of the Anahad Shabd, try to pick up the one sound that does not break in between and plays continuously. So, ਜਿਵੇਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੰਤਰਗਤ ਅਭਿਆਸ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਸਵਾਸ ਅੰਦਰ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਂਦਾ, ਵਾਹੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਸੁਰਤੀ ਦੁਆਰਾ, ਗੁਰੂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਜਦੋਂ ਸਵਾਸ ਬਾਹਰ ਨੂੰ ਵਾਪਸ ਜਾਂਦਾ। ਗੁਰਮੰਤਰ ਦਾ ਇਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਭਿਆਸ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋਏ ਜਦੋਂ ਸਾਹ ਅੰਦਰ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਏ, ਨਾਲ ਦੀ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਣੀ ਸੁਰਤੀ ਨਾਭ ਘਾਟ ਤੱਕ ਲੈ ਜਾਣੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਦੇਖਣਾ ਆ, ਲੱਭਣਾ ਆ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਆ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਪੌਣ ਟੱਕਰ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਆ। ਔਰ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਸੁਰਤੀ ਦਾ ਟਿਕਾਓ ਕਰਕੇ ਅੰਤਰਗਤ ਸੁਣਨਾ ਆ। ਜਿਹੜੇ ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਨੂੰ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਹੀ ਅਨਹਦ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਸੁਣਦੇ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਿੱਧਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਲਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ। ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਿਓ ਕਿ ਅਨਹਦ ਸ਼ਬਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਜੋ ਇੱਕ ਰਸ ਲਗਾਤਾਰ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਹੈ, ਜਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਹਿਜ ਧੁਨ ਕਿਹਾ, ਉਸ ਸਹਿਜ ਧੁਨ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੀ ਸੁਰਤੀ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਪਕੜਨਾ ਹੈ। Right. Guru Pyare Satsang Ji, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. So, Maharaj has blessed us with this opportunity to do Satsangat, in which we just did Abhyas of the Guru Mantra. Abhyas means to practice. And we practiced chanting the Guru Mantra in Saskara Simran, in the form of Sas Simran, two techniques that we use. Eventually, near the end of the two sessions of Saskara Simran and Sasa Simran, we did Antargat Abhyas. Antargat means internally, where we are chanting either with our mind or listening to celestial sound, Anahad Shabd, within. Our bhakti, our devotional worship, it starts from the Sahaj Tun inside, where we hear that celestial sound, that one that's always mentioned as the one that does not break in between and plays continuously. Maharaj says in Gurbani that Gurmukh's bhakti, their devotional worship, happens from that Sahaj Tun. Gurmukh Bhagat Jit Sahaj Tun Upajay. That Gurmukhs, their mind starts that bhakti at the Sahaj Tun. That's where our true devotional worship starts. To get to that point where we can hear the Sahaj Tun, we try to first quiet our mind down, alleviate the thoughts of our mind, make our mind go into Sahaj, into its true home, which is Sun, the void, where the mind becomes totally thoughtless, rises above Maya, rises above this physical body. And by practicing the Guru Mantra, we take our mind into Sun. That abode is known as our true home. Satgur te paye vichara, Sun samad sache kar bahara. That our true home, we learn from our true Guru, is Sun, the void, where our mind has risen above Maya, above thought. Now, for the mind to absorb into Sun, for the mind to start this journey, this mind has to start off from chanting the Guru Mantra. Our minds that have come into this physical form, their main aim is to become one with the Creator, from whom we all originate. Our origin, our root, our mool, such truth, the ultimate truth, Vaheguru Ji. In many different languages, many different places, Vaheguru Ji has many different names. Some say God, some say Allah, some say Ram, some say Gobind, some say Beetle. Many different names are given to that one Creator. But that one Lord is the Lord of all. That one Lord is the one that has created this entire play. Now, to meet that Lord, we have to follow the instructions laid out by the spiritual masters, the true Guru, the devotees, as we follow those instructions of Gurbani, of Sahib Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, our true Guru. Gurbani teaches us this path to bringing our mind into a higher level of consciousness. So that means we need that divine knowledge to be able to traverse this path. Now, in addition to that, we are lucky because not only do we have that divine knowledge in the form of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, but Guru Sahib also blesses us with Sangat. Maharaj says, "Hom man tan khoji pal palai, kyun pyara pritam mile meri mai, mil sat sangat khoj dasai, vich sangat har prabh vasai jiyo." That Vaheguruji blesses us with true congregation where we listen to the praises of the Lord. We sing the praises of the Lord. The Maharaj says, "Hom mantan khoji pal palai," that I search within my mind, my body. "Kyun pyara pritam mile meri mai." How can I meet my beloved Lord? Mil sat sangat khoj dasai, vich sangat har prabh vasai jiyo. Maharaj says, unite with the true congregation. That is where you learn how to search within, how to do khoj. Khoj means to search. And the true Lord Himself dwells within that true congregation. And those who have Maharaj's kirpa upon them, the grace of the Lord upon them, they get shown that path through the true congregation. This opportunity that we have, this human form that we've been given, the human form itself is a great gift of the Lord. It is the only form in which we can actually meet the Lord and do this devotional worship. Maharaj tells us, "Lakh charasi aap upay," that the Lord Himself has created 8.4 million species, basically homes in which this mind can enter, all the different forms that we see of all the different types of species that there are. Some being subtle species that we don't actually see with these eyes, like ghosts, Devi Devte, etc. And very fine beings, very small beings that aren't able to be seen with the naked eye. Manas Janam Gur Bhagat Dradai. In this human form, in this human life that we've been given, we are to do devotional worship in accordance with our Guru's teachings. In accordance to our Guru, do devotional worship. And if we don't do that devotional worship, bin bhakti bista vich vasa, bista vich fir paeda. That if we do not devotionally worship the Lord, if we do not meditate upon the Lord, then one basically gets to live in manure and falls into that manure over and over again. Such is the state of the mind. Maharaj says then, if someone is blessed with Vaheguruji's grace, has good actions, has done good karma, that they are on this path through Vaheguruji's grace, then they actually do bhakti. Karma hove gur bhagat dridai. Vin karma kyun paya jai. And without good action, how can we reach the Lord? Ape kare karaye karta jo bhava teve chalaida. The Creator Himself acts and inspires all to act as He wills. He leads us on the path that He wishes. So, Maharaj tells us that if we're on this path of spirituality, we have good karma, we have change bhag, we have a good grace upon us, that grace of the Lord. We have Maharaj's mehr parayahat upon us, that compassion of the Lord is what is driving us on this path. If we do not follow this path, that is also because Vaheguruji has gotten us to forget what this life is about. Now, in Gurbani, Maharaj has taught us that this human form is very important. All the other species where the mind can enter, they do not get this divine knowledge that the human species has been given. This human form is the highest of all 8.4 million species. This human form is known as Durlabh, very precious. And it doesn't get received over and over again, this opportunity. We don't not get a human form over and over again. It's only given to us by the grace of the Lord. And we are lucky that we're in this form. We have the teachings of Sahib Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, the true Guru. We have congregation where we learn about what Gurbani teaches us. This is our best opportunity to now meet the Lord. If one mind was to fall into any other form, there's no divine knowledge there that's imparted for those different species. They do not have that intellect to be able to contemplate that divine knowledge that's given to the humanoid species, the humans. And if a mind was to go into a sukham form, say a ghost, the mind there suffers. It doesn't have any peace, cannot do what humans can actually do with all the intellect that the humans have. If the mind is gone into a form of the Devi Devte, those angelic beings, gods, goddesses, they watch this play. Maharaj says, Is dehi ko simre dev, so dehi paj har ki sev, pajo gobind pool mat jaho, manas janam ka ehi laho. That those Devi Devte, they also long for this human body. Devi Devte, those angelic beings, they exist at that plane of consciousness where we hear celestial sound inside. Maharaj says in Gurbani that Dev sthane kya nisane te bajye sabd anahad bani. That where is Dev sthan, where the gods and goddesses dwell, those angelic beings dwell, those Devi Devte. And Maharaj says that that sthan, giving us the answer, is where we hear celestial sound. Those Devi Devte can hear that celestial sound too. But Maharaj has taught us that, for instance, the Siddhas, they had many miraculous powers. They were able to hear celestial sound. But Guru Sahib taught the Siddhas that to go beyond that point by connecting with that one sound known as the Naad, the Sahaj Tun, Shabad Guru, inside, which takes us above Devlok. The Siddhas, they were able to hear celestial sound. They were at that point where their mind sat at Devlok as well. But Maharaj taught us to go beyond that and gave the Siddhas the same instruction, where Maharaj says ke Anahad Bani Naad Vajaya, that from the celestial sounds you get to hear the Naad. The Naad is a very heavy sound. For instance, when we do practical abhyas, when we're on this path, the Sahaj Tun is a very fine sound. As we start listening to it, it gets louder, deeper, and it turns into the Naad. Sometimes what happens is a mind can skip over the Sahaj Tun and go right to the Naad. That Naad then eventually goes to a point where it turns into the celestial bugle, where our mind starts to totally absorb into that sound. And the mind separates from the air. When we fall into sun, when we go into that void, our mind at that point also separates from the air, rises above Maya. But when we absorb into the sound of the Shabd Guru, the Naad, Sahaj Tun, the Tur, celestial bugle, our mind also separates from the air, rises above this body. Technically, when we're going into sun, within that sun is that Naad. Maharaj says, Sadguru te paye vichara sun samad sache karbara, Nanak nirmal naad sabd tun, sach rame naam samayinda. That pure sound, that Naad, that Ram Naam is within sun. And that's the sound we have to absorb into. Usually what happens is when we start upon this path, our mind absorbs into sun and doesn't realize where it is, and then comes back eventually into this body again. and you either restart your chanting of the Guru Mantra or you start listening to celestial sound again. If the mind learns to attach to the Sahaj Tun, that Naad, that celestial bugle, the mind can traverse that initial sun and go deeper into the levels of sun and higher levels of consciousness. That's what we're trying to practice. When a mind absorbs into sun, sometimes the mind within sun can pick up that sound. It's already separated from air, and if it learns to pick up the sound within sun, then once again it will start to absorb into that sound. That sound resonates from the mouth of the Lord. The Lord is in the form of light. They don't have a physical mouth like ours, but where that sound resonates from is known as the mouth of the Lord. Maharaj says, Tera mukh sohava jiyo sahaj tun bani. And that mouth is very beautiful. Vaheguru Ji is in the form of all prakash, all light. Now, our mind, if it falls into the form of a Devi Devta, is at that point where celestial sound is, the Devi Devta themselves want this human form. That means that the Devi Devta, even though they're at that point of listening to celestial sounds inside, they can't get to that Sahaj Tun. They need to be in a human form to be able to go beyond that plane of just celestial sounds, anahad shabds, anahad bani. Thus, this opportunity that we've been given is very precious, is priceless. And if we do not take this opportunity of this human form to do bhakti, then we're wasting this form away. This chance that we've been given, this opportunity that we've been given, we're wasting it away if we're not doing bhakti, if we're not doing devotional worship. So, there are many people in this world that will say that the mind does bhakti, not the body, which is true. However, the importance of the body cannot be understated. This body is required to be able to do bhakti. That's why in today's topic we've given examples of the mind falls into other species. It has a physical form as well, but that divine knowledge isn't able to be comprehended in those other species. If the mind goes into the form of a Devi Devta, angelic being, those angelic beings, they want this human form because they cannot get to that next level without it. So our mind has been given this human form, and we now have to search within. Maharaj says, Jo Brahmande soi pinde jo khoja so pave, that the entire universe is within this physical form of ours. And we have to just search within. Whatever we search for, we can find within. And the Lord Himself is within this human form. And the Lord Himself is outside as well. But the closest point we have is where our mind has been put into this form. So if we search within this form, that's the easiest way to reach the Lord. That's why Maharaj says, Gurmukh hove so kaya khoja, hor sab param pulai. The Gurmukhs are those who search within this physical form. Everything else is disillusion and doubt. So that was today's topic. We do have some questions here. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh. Vaheguru Ji, I've got two questions. First is it wise to avoid people or situations that might increase my thoughts or distractions? How can I tell this motivation is coming from the pure wisdom of the Atma, or is it just God? Okay, so it is wise to avoid people or situations that might increase thoughts or distractions. But one must question themselves as to why am I avoiding this person or situation? Is it out of my own dubida? What if our mind falls into dubida and says, so-and-so is someone I don't like? Are you able to recognize that? In fact, we have to make sure that our mind realizes that all forms are the form of the Lord. For instance, many people work in this world and have managers and bosses that don't necessarily treat them well. Some people at work have very bad attitudes. Now, the thing is that if your own boss, one you work with, is increasing your thoughts, just as an example, a worker might not be able to avoid such a person. Now, where there's an option where you can go on another path in avoiding someone, it's not a bad thing sometimes. So Maharaj tells us, Satsang na kiji durajaya pag, that avoid the sangat of cynics, of sakats, of those who are devoid of this bhakti, devotional worship. But we always give that example that it is the mind that has to avoid the person. The mind has to try to stray away from that person. Sometimes in families, there's certain family members that don't necessarily do bhakti, that cause issues, and sometimes it's hard to avoid such people. So it's our mind that has to try to keep away from that person's sangat, that person's vichars, the thoughts and views of that person. We remain attached to Gurmat. As an example, we always say that Guru Nanak Dev Ji, they went around this world, around many different places in this world, and basically they met people that did horrible things in this world, like Koda Raksh. Koda Raksh was a cannibal. He used to eat people. But Guru Nanak Dev Ji still blessed Koda Raksh with divine knowledge. Guru Nanak Dev Ji, along their travels, met Sajjan Thug, who pretended to be a holy person on the outside, but would murder people. And Guru Sahib blessed him, Sajjan Thug, with divine knowledge and turned him into a saint, a true saint. So it's up to you if you want to avoid situations or distractions, something that'll increase your thoughts. But the thing is that it's a matter of keeping your mind separated from those people's thoughts. Guru Nanak Dev Ji went to Sajjan Thug. Guru Nanak Dev Ji didn't do the sangat of Sajjan Thug. Guru Nanak Dev Ji gave their own sangat to Sajjan Thug, and that's why Sajjan Thug changed. Then you're asking here, how can I tell if this motivation is coming from the pure wisdom of the Atma or if it is just God? That's where you have to ask yourself, do I have any dubada with this person? Do I have any duality in myself for this person? Do I still respect this person? Do I still see this person as being a form of the Lord? Sure, the person might be astray from the path of the Lord, but do I realize that it's the mind inside that person that's asleep? That's how you'll be able to tell whether this is coming from dubada. If it's coming from dubada inside, then it's a play of God. And if it's without dubada, you know that this person is the form of the Lord. You still respect all forms of the Lord. You are just trying to avoid a situation where there's a conflict. Yes, that would be from the Atma. Second, I had this relaxing experience while floating in the swimming pool. As I got deeply into Nam, I felt so absorbed into it that I was almost detached from my body. It was peaceful, but when I thought, oh wait, I'm floating over water, Waheguru Ji, in such a state, will I remain floating or I might be drawn under the water? So that's an amazing experience. As you were swimming, you're doing Simran as well, and you felt your mind and your body be very peaceful. And it's just that in such a situation, it's always important to be careful of your surroundings, what situation your body is in, so that you can remain samdrisht, balanced sight. Sometimes people are driving and they're doing Simran at the same time. But if you do not have balance of sight, i.e. you're not focusing on the task at hand as well, then it could be very dangerous. So whenever we're working, driving, swimming, etc., it's important to keep a balance between your Simran and being able to do the task at hand. So when we're sitting in a position or we're at a state where we can totally absorb into Nam, give our 100% attention to that devotional worship, and then make sure you do that there. But when you're swimming or you're driving or you're doing work, then you have to have samdrishti, that balance of sight, so that you're also focused on the task at hand. That way there's no danger to yourself or anyone else. Vaheguruji, without Simran, are each chakra open separately? And how to know if they are open or not? If energy vibrates on chakras till Ajna Agya chakra, then how to sustain it and go further up? So there are many yogis that focus on the different chakras or chakras along the spinal cord, where the three nadiyan or channels meet, Ida, Pingala, and Sukhmana. 6 different chakras along the spinal cord, and some then talk about the crown chakra being the 7th one. So yogis usually try to open each chakra separately. Now the thing is, there are certain points within our body that we can focus on, and Guru Sahib tells us to do Simran. If we try to do something that's without Simran, that is not advised by the devotees, then there are certain risks that can happen. And how do we know if they're open or not? Well, Guru Sahib actually tells us not to try to individually open each chakra like that. If energy vibrates on chakras till Agya chakra, then how do we sustain it and go further up? So if that energy is vibrating, that's fine. But the thing is, because there's risk in doing certain things, risk in focusing, because our focus has very high power in it. Many people will notice that you'll see people in this world and they'll have this deep line from their top of their forehead to about the middle of their eyes. It'll be a deep line. And some of those people have focused a lot on the Trikuti. And those that focus upon different points, they know that their mind is quite powerful in their focus. For instance, where Ida, Pingala, and Sukhamana, they meet up top, right below, a little bit below the eyes, the bridge of the nose. If a person focuses at a certain point around there with their mind a lot, then the channels get pulled a lot, like the nadia, and the entire head starts to hurt. So what happens is that in such a situation, you usually tell a person if they can't stop focusing there and they're having that pain at the same time, that to try to slowly let go of that and focus instead down below at the navel point. Guru Sahib tells us to do Simran. That the way that the yogis used to open one chakra by chakra, that's a very slow path. If we focus on the Guru Mantra, listen to Nam inside, we can get to that point where all the chakras open up at the same time. Maharaj says in Gurbani, Param paras gur petiya purab lekht lilat onman man man hi mila shutkat bajra kapat. That if our mind focuses on Nam, and focusing on Nam, inside we rise above this body, all our chakras will open at the same time, going into that point where we reach Unman. That's also known as the third level of Sun. If we get to that level, then all our chakras open up at the same time. That method is safe. If we decide to try to open each chakra by force with our focus, that can be something that's detrimental. So Maharaj tells us, Param Parasagur Petiya Purba Likhta Lalat Unman Man Man Hi Mile Shutkata Bajra Kapat. When we get to Unman, where our mind starts to merge into that universal consciousness, at that really deep level of Sun, our entire chakras then can open up all together, and that'll be safe. The biggest thing, if we start focusing on certain points and we're not doing Simran, we haven't practiced the Guru Mantra, is that we lose our sleep. Once we lose our sleep, then this mind gets very weak inside. We may have many different experiences in the beginning, but as we start to lose that sleep and our brain cells get weaker and weaker, our mind is going to fall into a path that doesn't want to go down, and it can be very dangerous for the mind. So it's advisable here not to try to open any of the chakras by force or by just focusing on them. Instead, follow the method laid out by the devotees, by the Bhagats, and by Guru Sahibaan. They taught the easiest way that we can go and merge into such the truth. So that was today's topic. In speaking, if I've made any mistakes, please do forgive me. Akharwada ka tapul chuk maaf karne. Vaheguru ji ka khalsa, Vaheguru ji ki fateh.